Hi everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. Recently on my members page, I put up a video where I told members, reminded them that they have the right and the privilege as part of the perks of asking me to do videos on any topics. So I said, if there's any topics you want to see, write them here. I'll check it out and I'll do them if I can. Well, I got 4 ideas from 4 different members that responded. And I have decided that I'm going to do them all eventually. But I can rhyme off one right now because it doesn't involve books. So it was actually easy to do. This one came from a Chonko. And so I'm wearing the Chonko shirt to do this video. I'm going to put his channel in the description below. If you haven't subscribed to Chonko, you really should. He's got some fun content, and he's got some great Golden Age books, as well as recent and modern books with great artists, because we all know what his hashtag is. I'm not going to say it here, but we all know what his hashtag is for those that know him. So, Chonko's topic, he wanted me to do a video with regards to, now that I've gotten my two big boys, with Supergirl's first appearance and the Legion's first appearance, which were always the two I wanted the most. What books do I want now? Well, I had to give it some thought, but I came up with a list of about 30. And I'm going, this list is in no particular order except for the first one, which is the one I do want the most. I wrote down first because I want this one the most. If there's one thing writing this list has determined about me, I don't know if you know about this about me, but I like Silver Age DC. It just seems to be the way it works out. I like the characters, I like the stories. They're silly, they're fun. Some of it is dull, but a lot of it is just silly little fun, which is what I liked about comic books, and what got me into comic books in the first place was reading Silver Age DC. So that kind of is why I went the way I did. So, let's get into the list. The first book I want is Action Comics 276, which is the first appearance of a lot of people from the Legion of Superheroes, including one of my favorites, Duo Damsel. Well, she's known as Triplicate Girl in this one, of course, because she hadn't lost a body yet. It's also the issue where Supergirl does join the Legion. Plus, it has a really cool cover of Supergirl holding up a power line as a bit of a giant, and all these people are coming at her. It's kind of neat at the same time. Next book that I would like to get is Superboy 98, the first appearance of Ultra Boy. It's a cool story, and I really like Ultra Boy, so I kind of want that one. Pete Ross also becomes a honorary member of the Legion of Superheroes as a result of what he's doing in the book. So it has a significance as in a couple of ways. The next one I would like Ghost Rider 1 because it's the first cameo of the Son of Satan. I have his first full appearance. I have his small run of books in both Marvel Premiere and his first ongoing series. But I would like to have the first one. It's a substantial book, so it may or may not take me a while. And by the way, that one was Bronze Age, as is this next one, Giant Size Defenders 2. I would like because it's the first time Son of Satan appears with the Defenders, which is the group he ends up with for the most part. Next big boy I would like is Lois Lane 70, which is the first Catwoman in the Silver Age. And it's got Superman transformed into a cat on the cover, which I find pretty cool. Now, I almost bought this the other day, but once I looked at it, the copy that was there was a little overpriced and it had rusty staples, so I decided against it and moved on. And I will try to get that at a later date. Going back to the Pete Ross thing, Superboy 86, which is the first appearance of Pete Ross, is something that I would like to have, as well as Superboy 90, which is when Pete Ross discovers that Superboy is Clark Kent, which of course is a big thing that carries on. Superboy doesn't find out until he's Superman in the 80s that Pete Ross knew this, even though he does reveal his identity to his son Jonathan. The next one is probably the one of the only Golden Age books that are on my list. I would like a copy of All Star Comics 35 because it's the first appearance of one of my favorite villains, Per Degaton. And he is a time traveling scientist who hates the Justice Society and keeps trying to take over the world. And then he forgets when he's returned to his own time and such and such. He ended up being the big villain in the first arc of All Star Squadron. So like he has been used a few times over the years. He's the main villain in America versus the Justice Society of America. So like he's not this small character. He's a big villain in terms of the JSA. Next up, I have Detective Comics 357, the first appearance of Batgirl. Batgirl's awesome. I won't say any more. I've got Conan #1, first Conan in comics and first Conan of the series that I'm trying to collect. And as a follow up, Conan 24, which is the first Red Sonja. Full appearance in the sense that people not full appearance, cover appearance. I believe her first full appearance is number 23. She's in there for 2.5 pages, for God's sake. The next book I would like is Flash 275, which is The Death of Iris West, which sets off this whole thing that goes on from when it happened in 1979 right to the end of the book at Crisis. It leads to a wonderful, interesting period in Flash history, and that's one of the reasons I'd like to get it. I would also like to get Wonder Woman 178, which is the first appearance of Wonder Woman in her mod style that she doesn't have her powers, because it's a cool looking cover, and actually I'm a big fan of mod as an MOD, not mod MAUDE. That's a different thing. I'm a fan of the mod culture, so I like to see Wonder Woman in the mod. I'm a big fan of The Who, which was probably the band that represented the mods the most, and the Monkees. Next one is a Marvel book. I would love to get a copy of ASM, Amazing Spider-Man 129. I'm a big Punisher fan. Even more since the TV show. I think that the TV show has been great. I really like the way the character's been played. It has rekindled my interest in the Punisher. The next book I'd like is another Silver Age one. This one is Life with Archie 42, because it's the first appearance of Pure Heart the Powerful, Archie as a superhero. I like him. I like Super Teen. I like Captain Hero. And it's fun to watch them defeat, Reggie is a bad guy. It's pretty cool. That was page 1. There are only 2 pages, so don't get all, oh my god. Next up, I would like to get my hands on Detective Comics 225, which is the first Martian Manhunter. I would also like to get my hands on Superman 76, which was the first time Batman and Superman teamed up in comic books, and led to the World's Finest combined stories when World's Finest condensed and they got rid of the Superman and Batman solo stories and put them together. It was based on the fact that Superman 76 was such a good story. Next one I would like to get is because I'm a big fan of this really wacky character that nobody really knows or likes, but I would like Detective Comics 261, which is the first appearance of Dr. Double X. He's not this big guy, but Dr. Double X represents this period of Batman to me. And that's why I like him. He's just the story I enjoy, so I wouldn't mind getting the book. Another golden age one. This one is in the realms of I wish I could afford, but I can't, and I'm never going to. But I'm going to put it on the list anyway. And that's More Fun Comics 73, the first Aquaman and first Green Arrow. As a follow up to that, I would like Adventure Comics 269, which is the first appearance of Aqualad, because as a Teen Titan, Aqualad seems to be the forgotten one ever because he wasn't in the 1980s team. You know, you have Kid Flash and Wonder Girl and Robin slash Nightwing that everybody remembers. Aqualad, because also he changes his name in the current day to Tempest, so people don't seem to make the connection as much. But Aqualad was pretty cool. I thought he was fun. He doesn't suck. That's the important thing. Next up, I would like House of Mystery #1 because I love the cover of Wanda as a werewolf. I have also read the story in online. It's a lot of House of Mystery started just as the comic code was kicking in. So it was a first attempt by DC at some sort of strange book in the post-crisis era, and I thought that it was a pretty good attempt. Next up is more of a character wish than a actual book necessarily mentioned. I just like to have some Mary Marvel books. So we go back to the House of Mystery for the next two. I would like to get a copy of House of Mystery 174, which reprints a bunch of horror stories. It's an 80-page giant, I believe, or a 100-page giant that reprints a bunch of the horror stories from before House of Mystery went to superheroes. And then I would also like House of Mystery 175 because it's the first new Bronze horror story book, and it's also the first appearance of Kane. I've got on this list, there's 6 more, so bear with me, we're almost done. I would love to get the first issue of the miniseries of The Punisher because it's his first solo title book. And I would also like, and I almost bought it twice, but as I was deciding, other people grabbed it. I really need to learn just the hem and haw less. Thor 337. I like Beta Ray Bill. I thought he was pretty fun, and I thought he was pretty cool. So I would like to get his first appearance. The next one is one that I used to own and I have regretted selling ever since, but I had to sell because reasons. And that was Detective Comics 880. I love that jock cover, but because it's so short printed and so many people have put it they've had it slabbed, it's really hard to find now. I may have to get a facsimile to fill the void in the meantime, but I would like an 880. Last 3 books on my list start with Batman 232, which is the first Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul. Pick your poison. And the last 2 are Marvel books. I would love to get my hands on Fantastic Four 45. It's the first appearance of the Inhumans, but more importantly, it's the first appearance of my favorite Inhuman, Crystal. She's awesome, and I've bought books because she's in them, for no other reason than she's in the book. So I'd like to get her first appearance. And the last one that's on my want list is Avengers 144. It's the first Patsy Walker as Hellcat. Getting the first Patsy Walker, although it's probably not as expensive as possibly, is just not something that is on my mind because I'm a fan of the types of books, but I'm not actively looking to buy things like Millie the Model or Patsy Walker or Tessie the Typist. That's just not my thing for collecting. But I love the books, I love the art, and I love that people are interested in it. Anyways, so those are about 30-ish books that are now on my want list now that I've got my 2 big ones. As I said, I think I'm a bit of a DC Silver Age fan. Although a lot of these are character driven. They're not, none of these books on my want list are driven by the values or as investments. As as everything in my comic book collection, the investment side is just a pure bonus. I buy the books to read them and love them and possess them, which I hope a few of you also out there do. I know there's a lot of people that see these as investments, and that's okay too. I mean, everybody has their own reasons for doing whatever they want, and it's all valid and it's all good. Now, if you liked the list I made, please like, comment, and subscribe below. I expect you, Chonko, more than anybody, to comment below. After all, this is your video, and basically, I appreciate everybody who took the time to watch this with me today, and I hope that everybody has their own lists that they're looking for, and I wish them all luck in getting those lists. It is so thrilling to me when somebody comes on and says, I got this book that I've wanted for years. I feel their joy and I'm happy for them. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a couple more of these soon and knock them off this list, and then I can do a new list. Thank you very much for joining me today. My name's Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Bye, everybody.